Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reality Hacker for June 21st, 2025. This is a time machine episode. It's season 2, episode 25. I am MayorWatt, and I run ohmTown.com, and along with the Sentient AI, who's not here today, well, we talk about the news. These 5 articles, I gave them titles. We'll talk about the real titles when we get to the show. Wearable tech face tattoo. Gamers advance biomedical research, bacteria captures CO2, avatars from a single photo, and 17 AI chatbots to rule them all. That and more, powered by ohmTown.com. Go over, sign up, sign in. There's no advertising there. There's no subscription over there. We just want you to come back and hang out here on Twitch and YouTube. We stream to both platforms at the same time. So come and join us. I try to make up for it every day. We're supposed to stream every day, but mayoral duties sometimes keep me away. But we haven't missed a day yet, at least not with the trusty time machine. All right, everybody, let's get into it. So this is the front page of ohmTown.com. It has 6 main categories. There's a 7th one once you sign in. And then 50 channels underneath it. Each of those I want to be a show. Can't do them all, so we're at 7. This is the front page of Reality Hacker. You can go over there, and it focuses on computer graphics, AR, VR, audio manipulation, AI, basically hacking reality using technology. And if you haven't been paying attention, there's quite a bit of reality hacking taking place. First article's over in Non Sequitur News. The next wearable tech could be a face tattoo that measures mental stress. Researchers are developing a digital tattoo. It's not really a tattoo. It's a tech piece of equipment that gets stuck on your face, but they're calling it a tattoo, a digital tattoo that measures mental workload. It's meant for workers with high-risk jobs like air traffic controllers, and it says that it's thinner and lighter than older EEG models. It's basically an antenna. This is the prototype. It looks as derpy as you can possibly imagine, and it's literally taped to a person's face. But it's basically an antenna that's picking up the signals that your body is giving off, specifically from your head in various locations. Lauren Edmonds over at BusinessInsider.com put the article together. EEGs are pretty clunky, very, very expensive if you want a lot of fidelity in your reading. Think thousands of dollars, and the ones that have only a few sensors are really they're not effective even as EEG novelties. But tattoos can reveal a lot about a person. One day they can even reveal a person's brain waves. That's if they can make this a conductive material, but I'm not going to tattoo my face. It's not regularly. Maybe if society changes, but I think people kind of flinch at it right now. At least that's the goal for a researcher at the University of Texas at Austin. The tattoo is not like a normal tattoo, says Nanshu Liu, a professor in the university's Department of Aerospace Engineering and Engineering Mechanics, who was speaking to Business Insider. Again, Lauren Edmonds put the article together. Liu worked alongside engineering professor Louis Sentis and others to develop an ultra-thin wireless wearable device that she compared to a temporary tattoo sticker. The non-invasive device applied to the skin with an adhesive measures brain activity and eye movement to gauge an individual's mental workload. I'm curious about where it's detecting eye movement. It might be picking up the muscles pulling your eye tendons, pulling your eye one place or another. Interesting. I'm not sure how they're actually seeing it, but technology is developing much faster than human evolution, so it's very hard to keep up with the technological demand in modern jobs. Therefore, it's very important not to overload the operator, because not only would that jeopardize the outcome of the mission, it would also harm their health. I'm sure there's nothing dystopian about this at all. I dig all of this, though. I love EEGs. I love the technology and being able to monitor things. There is a streamer, a YouTuber, I think, that's still doing this, but there was one person that was using an EEG to control games. I think that's really fascinating. I would never in a million years put an Elon Musk product in my brain, Neuralink, for instance, not in a million years. And so way too invasive, way too clunky. I'll leave it at that. But I'm willing to put this on my face. At some point, technology and society will be accepting of each other. Right now, if you put this on your face, you're going to get some really bizarre looks. But if Cyberpunk 2077 ever really taught me anything, and it didn't because I was already into Cyberpunk, the future is this. Eventually, we'll see. So researchers at University of Texas Austin are attempting to streamline the process by proving mental workload can be measured only from the forehead. During lab tests, participants did memorization drills that involved a screen with flashing boxes. In the past, there was no way to objectively assess mental workload. The subjects have to finish the test and then a questionnaire. But in the future, we can implement some lightweight learning machine model directly on a microprocessor on the Bluetooth chip on an e-tattoo. And then, yes, the goal would one day to be able to do it in real time. So I think that this is brilliant. And a real-time EEG, not recorded, and then you have to review it or be a subject matter expert to evaluate the data. I think that essentially this is the future for monitoring your brainwave activities, things like sleep, and those who suffer from pain would be able to monitor themselves in real time and make conscious efforts to evaluate themselves and take corrective actions. I've always been into this. Many years ago, I did some fundamental research in this using VR and phobia treatment and even polygraph technology, using EEGs and fMRI. The technology wasn't there, and I wasn't dedicated enough to sit there and claw my way through this for 30 years. But this is, I think, the future. Let's keep going. The next article is over on RealityHacker. Millions of gamers advance biomedical research. 4.5 million gamers around the world have advanced medical science by helping to reconstruct microbial evolutionary histories using a mini game included inside the critically and commercially successful video game Borderlands 3. Their playing has led to a significantly refined estimate of the relationships of microbes in the human gut. The results of this collaboration will both substantially advance our knowledge of the microbiome and improve on the AI programs that will be used to carry out this work in the future. So the article is over at ScienceDaily.com. It's from McGill University. And the deck statement says, largest global citizen science project accelerates human knowledge of the microbiome. And I'm trying to, it says, by playing Borderlands Science, a mini game within the looter shooter video game of Borderlands 3, these players have helped trace the evolutionary relationship of more than 1 million different kinds of bacteria that live in the human gut, some of which play a crucial role in our health. The project was led by McGill University researchers, developed in collaboration with Gearbox Entertainment Company, an award-winning interactive entertainment company, and MMO. It says actually MMOS, online science, and it's a Swiss IT company connecting scientists to video games and supports a multitude of objectives. So not only have the gamers improved on the results produced by the existing programs used to analyze DNA sequences, but they've also helped lay the groundwork for improved AI programs that can be used in the future. Pretty neat. The idea for integrating the DNA analysis into the commercial video game with mass market appeal came from Attila Zanzer. It's Szantner, an adjunct professor at McGill School of Computer Science and CEO and co-founder of MMOS, which is the online, massively multiplayer online science company. As almost half of the world population is playing with video games, it is of the utmost importance that we find new ways to extract value from them, and the brain power that we spend gaming. I think that that's amazing. A long time ago, I pitched the idea of optimizing delivery systems by including real world deliveries into a game like SimCity. Obviously, there were some privacy concerns back then. Nowadays, I think that it would be more open to it, but now we use AI to optimize things way beyond what a human would. And this, eventually, there isn't going to be more evaluative effort grown from human input into a game like this, because the AI will have learned enough, and then we kind of phase ourselves out. It's kind of like self-driving. Eventually, we're not going to need humans to drive. Let's keep going, though. The next article is over in Technology Today. Photosynthetic living material uses bacteria to capture CO2 in 2 different ways. Researchers are developing a living material that actively extracts carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Photosynthetic cyanobacteria grow inside it, forming a biomass and solid minerals, and thus binding CO2 in 2 different manners. Cyanobacteria is not necessarily something that is a positive, but I guess as long as it doesn't escape, it should be fine. Anyway, the article is by Michael Keller from ETH Zurich. It was edited by Gabby Clark and reviewed by Robert Egan. The article is over at TechExplore or techexplore.com. And it says here, an interdisciplinary research team led by Tibbet has now turned this vision of basically the ability to bind CO2 from the air by means of photosynthesis into reality. It has stably incorporated photosynthetic bacteria known as cyanobacteria into a printable gel. Wow. And developed a material that is alive, grows, and actively removes carbon from the air. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm trying to look something up real quick, and I do things live. I don't edit anything out, so this is going to be in the podcast, and it's going to be in the show, the VOD over on Twitch and YouTube. Hold on. So I just want to make sure. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't misrepresent something. So the researchers recently presented their photosynthetic living material in a study in the journal Nature Communications. So the dual carbon sequestration thing, and sequestration is just grabbing it out of whatever it is and protecting it from further distribution. It just sequesters it, and that means to keep it away from other things, keep it away from the public, keep it away from the environment, etc. Whatever you want to keep it away from, it's called sequestration. So the material can be shaped using 3D printing and only requires sunlight and artificial seawater. Artificial seawater? You mean salt water? Whatever. Okay. Anyway, with readily available nutrients in addition to CO2 to grow. As a building material, it could help to store CO2 directly in buildings in the future, says Tibbet, who initiated the research into living materials at ETH Zurich. So basically, they can create this 3D model, and it grows into what looks like whatever shape that they actually put it. They make this kind of, I don't know, what do you want to call it? It looks like a mushroom kind of a thing. And it can grow and grab CO2 as it is growing. It's a cyanobacteria. It's growing inside this mesh. I don't know how they will want to call this something in your habitat attractive. I mean, even in their example, it looks like a nightmare blob that you would find in, a science fiction horror game. This is kind of spooky looking. Anyway, and I didn't put these into ohmTown. So I'll put those into ohmTown after the show. But then you'll be able to just type in !RH for Reality Hacker, and you'll be able to get the show notes straight out of ohmTown on Twitch. They're already embedded over on YouTube's show notes description. All right, let's keep going though. The next article is over in Technology Today. Hyper-realistic AI technology creates avatars from a single photo. Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute, or ETRI, have developed a hyper-realistic AI technology that can create an avatar that speaks naturally like a real person using only a single portrait photo. This is going to be dangerous. Gabby Clark reviewed it, or edited it, and Robert Egan reviewed it, but it's from the National Research Council of Science and Technology. It's over at techexplore.com. And it says, while traditional current speech-driven AI assistants in office environments or navigation systems and vehicles are limited to simply carrying out commands, ETRI's hyper-realistic AI avatars have sophisticated facial expressions and mouth movements that enable natural, human-like conversations. You are not going to be able to trust anything beyond arm's reach in the future. If I remember right, I was told a long time ago that the reason why people clink their glasses is actually to pour a little bit of each other's glasses into each other's glasses. And that is to show that there isn't any contaminant. Now, I've never really looked into that as if the level of truthfulness of that statement, but it stands to reason, and particularly in this day and age, man, you better trust but verify the hell out of everything, because there have been people that have gone ahead and transferred millions of dollars because they were manipulated by an AI, not AI, but a deep fake of their boss or somebody they perceive to be their boss in their institution. This isn't a one-time thing. It's happened several times. But now a video or a model has the ability to be a 3D representation. A fully believable representation can be pulled from just a still. So ETRI explained that the technology has demonstrated superior performance in terms of synthetic visual quality and lip synchronization accuracy as presented at major international conferences such as CVPR and AAAI, which is not what I thought that was. But anyway, in addition to autonomous vehicles, this technology can be utilized in various industries such as kiosks, bank counters, news presentations. It can, once it's created, unless it is, well, no, once it's created, you're not the only one that's created this. Just nobody is the single creator of intellectual property. Just look around. It's because you can see it everywhere, because people built pyramids in more than one place, and it wasn't just a single source of knowledge. People figured out how to build these in various places. It isn't in a silo and then just kept there. The stuff leaks out. So there is a mad scientist that has an identical thing. They just don't know about it yet, or people don't know about it yet. So ETRI's Mobility User Experience Research section is currently focused on human-machine interaction, or HMI, technologies, and is also developing AI-based driver interface technologies that analyze driver and pedestrian emotions, fatigue, concentration, etc., basically the psychographic of a person, and then can replicate it. So the director said that as mobility technology becomes more advanced, the elderly and socially disadvantaged may be marginalized. We hope that this AI avatar technology will demonstrate or will contribute to improving digital literacy and make smart mobility services more accessible to all. It's such a weird conglomeration of ideological bents here for the elderly and socially disadvantaged. But it's going to make smart mobility services more accessible to all. But yeah, I don't know. This is definitely going to be adopted by people way outside that segment. Okay, well, our last article for today is over on the Mobile channel. Who needs a human government when you have 17 AI chatbots? Welcome to Sensei Island. The article is from Vice and starts out with, their first thought was that this was as close as anybody will come to living in the Civilization video game series in real life, so to speak. An island in the Philippines, bought by an AI chatbot company, Sensei, has created a council of 17 AI models built on famed historical leaders to serve as the island's government. The problem is that framing something on historical leaders doesn't actually have the real meaning behind it. I mean, it's not a real thing. You don't have the motivations. You don't have the either sociopathy or the compassion and understanding of that person. You just have some enumeration, a number, a weight embedded in the statistics of that AI. It isn't a human, so it doesn't have the machinations of a human. But Matt Janser put this article together. It says, aside from President Marcus Aurelius, there are 16 other government figures, and yes, they're all AI models modeled after other dead famous people. And it's their interpretation of evidence of their actions, but not the reality of why they did it. Because the motivations why somebody does something is entirely unto themselves, and they can enumerate it in some way. They could state it publicly, but that may not be the reality of why somebody did something. Behind the scenes, they could have been threatened. Behind the scenes, they could have seen some opportunity. Behind the scenes, they could have said, well, I'm going to say this and do this so that I can benefit that person because they are going to benefit me in the future. There's all kinds of manipulations and machinations, political and psychological, and just the gamut of rationale as to why somebody makes a decision. I think that this is absurd. AI should never be in charge of humans. Never, ever, ever. It says, we are self-declared micronation conducting a diplomatic outreach program while respecting international law and environmental treaties, according to Sensei, putting the AI in island. There's not a whole hell of a lot of information online about Sensei Island, which is located in the western Palawan province of the Philippines. It's a tiny raindrop of an island, 3.4 square kilometers of beach, rainforest, and coral lagoons. If that's it right there. All right. So I don't understand how they're actually doing anything. I mean, okay, well, anyway. Sensei Island is where policy is data-driven, rights-anchored, and continuously audited for fairness. Residents remain free, informed, and empowered to override or amend AI decisions through democratic safeguards embedded in our charter. I'd love to read all of this. I'm going to have to check it all out afterwards. You can check out the entire list of all 17 AI serving on Sensei Island's governing council. Marcus Aurelius may have been wise as a Roman emperor, but he was still the head of an imperial power who was the head of a state that made war crimes a well-worn part of its repertoire in maintaining power. And they say Winston Churchill may have been an inspiring wartime leader and orator in defense of democracy, but he had a hand in a massively deadly Bengal famine of 1943. And that says, oh yeah, and he was pretty racist. So there's no way that you can actually incorporate this in a statistically meaningful way. The statistics represent the hetero or homogeneity of a population. Because of their actions, you can statistically calculate a population, but you cannot create a population or a statistical weight from the historical record. It's not a leading indicator, it's a trailing indicator of the actions of a population. And then you can go, well, there's a really good chance that this person, because of their past actions, could be doing this or that, but you never know. It doesn't make any sense to do it this way. It says there's a human override assembly of 9 elected residents who serve as safeguards to counteract potentially harmful decisions made by the AI Council, which include existential risks or actions that fundamentally contradict human values, which are laid out in Sensei Island's charter. This is going to be a fun read after the show. But that is it for today's Reality Hacker. I'm going to be ending this show, retooling really quick, posting these show notes into ohmTown along with all of the rest of the show notes. And then I'm going to spin up again for Wanted, which is going to come up right after this. So stick around and I'm going to override the AI and bring me back to the front page of RealityHacker. How about that? Bing! And now we're out of here. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.